All right, let's just dive into it. Okay, so you select your clip here in the timeline and you hit this little triangle right up here. This is going to bring up your color board. This is your color board. These are your highlights, these are your shadows, these are your midtones, and this is your master control for everything. This is for your exposure, the saturation, and then the color to change the color. Here you have more selections, so the color board we just went over. This is the color wheels. You have more control using the color wheels. So on the right side of all these wheels are your luma, where this is going to be your highlights and your shadows. And on the left side is to control the color. So you can see with my master control, I can overexpose it and underexpose it and reset it right there. And then saturation, oversaturated. Down below you have the color temperature, which you can warm or cool down the clips and help adjust with the white balance. So let's just try to color correct this clip and we'll just go through it. You can come up here to view, select your video scopes, or you can go up to window, workspaces, color and effect. And this is a customizable window to put whatever you want here. So here I have my RGB parade, which is going to tell me how good my white balance is, my highlights, my luma, and then my vector scope. The luma is going to help me balance my shadows and highlights. And the vector scope is perfect for color correction. We'll go into that in another video, but we're just going to go with the basics and starting with this. Okay, so first thing I like to do is I want to bring my shadows down to 0, which is highlighted right there. And then I want to bring my highlights up to 100 or just around 100. Being within that range of 100 to 0 for your shadows and highlights are the best thing to do. So my white balance is pretty solid here. I do have a little bit of blue in the shadows, but let's get some color back in this clip since this was shot in log. You can just go up to my master control and bring that up, and I think that looks pretty good right there. Again, most of this is subjective, but to me that looks pretty good here. Now you don't want to just stop here, and I guess I'll show you the temperature. So you can warm the clip up and you can cool it down to nothing, but I think the white balance was perfect on that. Next thing I like to do before I mess with my midtones is, actually let me look at my midtone right here. I just bring that down a little bit. And then what I like to do is go to my color curves, and I like to make a little S curve. That's a little much. And I actually think that's perfect. Okay, explanation of the lines. This is on all these lines right here, this end is your highlights, this end is your shadows, and these are the midtones. So I think I have a little bit too much blue in the shadows, so I can come over here and I could raise the blue up like this, but you see how the whole clip turned blue? It's because I'm now taking the blue out of the midtones and the highlights as well. So in order to stop that, you can put a little blocker right there. Now I'm staying within the shadow range, and I can bring that blue right out of the shadows. And if you look, nearly perfect right there. So I think that clip looks pretty good. I don't think anything else has to be done to it. But let me just go over a few more things, like the hue and saturation droppers. So using these droppers up here, you can fundamentally change the color of each separate color. So let's just say I want to change the hue and saturation of the pink on her ice cream cones. I can select that dropper right there, and it opens up the range within that pink sits, and I can change the color. I can desaturate it, oversaturate it, pretty much just change that whole scope. You can also change the hue of it, but you got to remember, anything within those pixels are going to change. So there's a lot of pink in this scene, so it's going to affect everything that's pink. But if you want to give her purple ice cream and a purple bathing suit, you can do that. So it is pretty easy. Let me reset all these. And let's just say I want to bring this yellow out a little more. I can go to my hue and saturation, click on the yellow, and I can bring some of that yellow up, but it's going to bring some yellow in her skin tones up too, but I actually like the way that looks. Let's pop some of this pink. I want this pink to be a little brighter. Yeah, there we go. So I think that looks pretty good. All right, let's move on to the next clip. Here's a little drone footage when I was in Thailand. Let's fix this up a little bit. Again, I want to open my color wheels. I got my video scopes already up here. Let's do my Luma first. Let's bring the shadows down. Let's bring the highlights up. There's a lot of blue in this scene, so especially in the highlights because of the water or whatnot. I want to bring the saturation up a little bit on this because this is such a vibrant place. Not too much though. And then I want to come to my color curves, add my S curve, really bring some of the shadows out a little bit. But I'm not happy with the color of this water. So let's go to my hue and saturation, and let's bring the color. I want this water blue. There we go. Look at the difference there, right? Look, I mean, you just bring that color right out. I think I want the trees a little greener without oversaturating everything else. There we go. I think that looks pretty good. And maybe a little too much blues in the highlights, so you can go back to your color curves. And just, there we go. I think that looks great. Maybe a little too saturated, so what I can do is go back up to the wheels and just bring that saturation down a little bit. I think that is better. Okay, and on this last clip, what I wanted to show you was I had my camera settings perfect on this clip. My shadows and highlights right off the bat are in the right position, and my white balance, as you can see here, it's perfect. You couldn't ask for a better shot. So, but I want the shot to be more dramatic, and instead of messing around trying to get this the way I want it to look, I'm going to use a LUT, which is short for lookup table. You can buy these from all different websites. This particular LUT that I'm going to use is from Pixel Film Studios, and this is their Intense LUT pack. So you just double click it, back up to the inspector, and these LUTs are relatively weak right off the bat, so you don't have to do a lot of adjustment. And I love this Cinema LUT, and it just turns it really cold and dreary, and this is just very dramatic for this shot, especially in the slow motion. I mean, and that water drop dripping off her hood right there just looks so amazing. Most of the time when you add LUTs, they are so strong that you have to adjust the opacity out of them right here within the mix. But Pixel Film Studios does a pretty good job with this LUT pack. Let me show you what I mean. I will go, let me take this LUT off. If you go to color, put a custom LUT on it. I have pre-saved custom LUTs. This pack I got from Ryan, I think his name is Ryan Nangle, which I really love using his stuff. Let's go to his teal and orange on. And it's just overpowering. When I use his LUTs, I bring the mix down to 50%. And you can see the difference right there at 50%. Pretty dramatic. I don't like this look for this kind of scene. I definitely prefer this cold look. There you go. We just switched log footage We went over color wheels, color curves, and then how to get to your controls. If you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comments, and I will try to do more tutorials like this if you enjoyed this. All right, guys, that's it. Please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. I will talk to you later.